So that first card flew out, and I'm getting one last shuffle in. All right. So I have the Lover's card in the reverse position, Magician, crowning or crossing your energy. 8 of Cups, 3 of Cups, the Hangman, 8 of Wands. This is actually shown up now for 3 signs. 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, King of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and I have the Moon in the reverse position. Okay. So, let me say love life is going to be a little challenging this month, okay? So keep that in mind. You know, the root of the matter is we have the Lover's card in the reverse position, and the outcome, the one next to it, is the 3 of Cups, which is indicative of having 3 people in the picture. So that doesn't look good, all right? So let's go through it. I would say for couples, like coupled Taurus, what I'm seeing is there are a lot of love troubles, okay? So there might be disputes, there might be arguments, there might be like a difference in opinion. There might also be an impasse, a situation where there's an impasse. At the same time, though, I feel that one side is either you might be really upset with your partner, and there is also a potential with like with jealousy, with flirtation, with like people, with infidelity as well. I would say that for the majority of you, it's not at a stage of infidelity yet, and there's like flirtation, and you know you're dealing with people, with a partner who is overly flirtatious, or you yourself might be that way. So there's definitely anger from one party, and the other party is trying to repent, is trying to reach out and trying to apologize and things like that, okay? So I feel that it's not like a mutual anger thing. One person is definitely in the wrong and the other person is really, really upset. So needless to say, you definitely have, you know, depending on which side of the power to fix things. And I feel like it's actually a matter of I guess relinquishing control and trying to appease the other person. But the other person is not receptive at this point. Okay, so that's what I'm sensing here. If you are single, there might be potentially somebody that you're interested in who is also speaking to, you know, who's also like dating other people on the side. So it's one of those situations, you're very interested in them, you're physically very attracted to them, but the situation that I'm sensing is there's not going to be a strong commitment, all right? So keep that in mind as well. As for what's in the past situation, I feel like this has, for those who are coupled up, let's talk about the couples, because this might prove to be more problematic to couple Taurus, just because I feel like this situation has it came up in the past, and it was never like dealt with satisfactorily. So there was never like a closure reach. There was never a truce or a compromise reach about this being, you know, one party being too flirtatious, or about like jealousy and things like that. All right. So I don't feel that it was properly addressed in the past, and you both just swept it under the rug, and now it, you know, it came to light, and it's just like a lot of emotional baggage, and that's why one party is really, really upset and the other party feels that you know, that they're in the wrong and they're trying to apologize. So either way, it's a long like it's an issue from the past that was never properly, you know, resolved, so then now it's blowing up again. That's what I'm sensing here. With the Hangman, this is your crowning energy, okay? So take a step back and take some time off and approach this in a different from a different perspective. If you're trying to solve this problem, whatever was done in the past, it actually didn't work. So take some time off to let the other person cool down. If it's you, take some time off for the other person to formulate a viable strategy, so that you both can discuss this when you're both level-headed, all right? And I feel like for most of you, actually, there is definitely suspicion of infidelity or just flirtatiousness, but I don't feel that it's a actual infidelity. It might have happened, infidelity might have happened in the past, and then the energy is coming up again, or the cycle is coming up again. So then the other person or you yourself might feel like somebody's cheating in the relationship, when I don't think it has happened yet. But it could potentially, if it's not caught, it could lead to that situation. But what I'm reading this as is that this is a good time for things to be brought to light, because if it's not addressed, it actually could lead to infidelity. Okay, so be careful about the person that you're dealing with, and I just feel though it's not going to be resolved. Yeah, it's not going to be resolved possibly until, let's see, the end of your fight will actually be the resolution. Okay, so the end of this month is when I feel that it's going to come up again. So in the meantime, take some time off, let your partner cool down, let yourself cool down, so that you can approach this in the spirit of resolution, rather than in the spirit of trying to get trying to extract an apology, or trying to get the other person to hear things from your point of view, because I feel like it's not going to work. Things would just blow up again, and then you will have to still contend with this situation. As for the what's coming in, for those who are singles, you actually have it good this month, because I do see a lot of flirtatiousness, a lot of potential prospects, like romantic partners and things like that, and they're coming in with sincerity. They're actually there are a lot of opportunities for you to go out and mingle and meet other people, and I feel that you're actually going to take these opportunities. For those who are coupled as well, I feel that your friends are going to be very instrumental in getting you out there and meeting people. So this is also a double-edged sword for those who are coupled up, and you're dealing with a fight, and your friends are like in the picture, and you're depressed, and they're trying to drag you out so that you can like get your mind off it, because that's going to make your partner jealous. I would say do it anyways, because if you're not in the wrong, definitely do it, get your mind off it. However, if you're the one that and you feel like you were flirtatious, or you did your partner wrong, I would say stay home and work through this yourself, because don't use it as a distraction. And on top of that, is feeding fuel to the fire, and the other person might be jealous, all right, that you're going out when you should be at home suffering. I'm not saying that it's good to suffer or anything like that, but I feel like you should tone it down a little bit. Okay, like you're walking on eggshells, so just tone it down a little bit. um but either way, getting out the house, especially for singles, getting out the house would be really good for you, and there are actually a lot of opportunities for you to meet a lot of new love interests as well. As for the advice here, I would say this is for couple walking on eggshells, okay? Trying to balance your needs, trying to balance your pride versus the right thing to do, okay? So there's a fine line I'm sensing with this card, definitely. So a lot of people too, your pride is preventing you from, you know, um, giving a sincere apology, or your pride is preventing you from accepting the other person's apology. So try to approach this as adults, and come into it with the spirit of compromise and trying to get at the truth, rather than just sweeping the problem under the rug again. I do feel that truth will be reached, and actually, there would be a solution towards the end of the month, but in the meantime, okay, rehearse what you're going to say ahead of time, and just be very honest and open about this. And that's the only advice that I can give. But in the meantime, like I said, it's walking on eggshells. It's being very careful and very deliberate about what you do and what you want to say, okay? This is a Pentacles card, but you're an earth sign. So this is more like, it deals with communication for an earth sign as well. So be really careful about your actions and your thoughts and what you say. That would be the advice here. At the same time, I guess as well, for singles, it's the same way, if you're getting out there dating, then do the same thing. I do sense that there might be a little bit of jealousy, okay, with the people that you're interacting with. Like, either you like there's competition within the dating market, and there's like jealousy. So be careful about what you say, but what you say, who you pursue, and how you come across to other people. So like, be a little more delicate. Don't reveal too much information until you get to know them. As for your external environment, okay, so I'm sorry, couple Taurus, but it's there's a lot of pain and anguish, and this is emotional pain. It just seems to me that the argument is getting dragged out. Okay, so it's getting dragged out, and it's actually causing a lot of strife, and a lot of it's disrupting your inner peace is what I'm saying, seeing. And it's basically you're not able to sleep at night because of this lack of inner peace, lack of resolution, lack of closure, because like one person might be giving the other a silent treatment, or like hurling hurtful words your way, or you might be doing that to your other the other person, but I feel it's mainly the other person to you. And then you can't sleep at night. Like, you're very troubled by it, and you're very hurt by it too. So just know that, in the meantime, there's nothing you can do. It's until the end of this month. And I feel like, keeping your emotions and your feelings like grounded rather than flying off the handle would be the only advice that I can give. I'm very sorry. As for single Taurus, too many opportunities to go out, so you're like not getting enough sleep. Okay, there are way too many prospects that are. You might be dating too many people, and they're not letting you sleep. You're not making enough time to get sleep. So either way, I don't feel like that's a pleasant place to be in, but that's up to you. I feel that if you don't want to do that, then you know how to get out of it. Let's see. So as for this is your hopes and fears, okay? You're hoping that you will actually be able to get over this situation for those who are coupled up. You're really hoping that the other person can either forgive or forget, and you can do that too, but it's proving to be very difficult. With this cup with this card in the reverse position, I do see that there can be a resolution from this, and this is actually coming in the end of the month, in which you are going to salvage what's left of the relationship and try to move past it. Okay, so there's definitely a compromise or a truce that is going to be reached, and there's a serious discussion that will be had by the end of the month about this whole situation. So that's coming in very strongly. um, for those who are single, what I'm sensing is okay, so this is what I'm seeing again here. So you have a lot of potential prospects, and more often than not, they're proving to be kind of unreliable. And in the process, they're flaking out, or you actually get to know them, and you took a step back and observe them, and they don't really prove to be people that you really want to hang out with. You're okay with that because you know that quality means more to you than anything. So you're going to let those flickers go, and stick with the people that are actually worthwhile. Okay. As for your outcome, I have the King of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and the Moon card in the reverse position. So the King of Wands is, it's all about honesty, and the Wand energy and the Sword energy both deal with honesty, but the Wand energy, it's more about compromise as well. Okay, so it's about truth, but also compromise, and the truth is, I guess, is sugar coated or is softened somewhat to preserve the other person's ego. And with the King of Wands, what I'm sensing is at the end of the month, both people will be able to arrive at this situation very objectively. We have the Moon in the reverse position, which is, truth and clarity. And King of Wands indicates that, you are in total control of the situation. So try to direct it in a way that is conducive for both parties' growth. So if you must have a talk about this situation, it's important to release all the things that's troubling you. Okay, this is a card of like holding on to things too tight until they boil over and then you just explode. So don't do that. Make sure everything is out in the open, because it's a very good opportunity for clarity and for basically like unearthing all the baggage and getting them all out in the open. So okay, so what I'm sensing here is this. Okay, so this is about fighting fair. Okay, so if these two cards are like next to each other, what I'm sensing is resolve this situation first, all right? Arrive at a resolution so then this situation doesn't continue. And then after you've arrived at that, make sure your partner understands what you expect from them moving forward, okay? And then you can address all the other baggage, because this is also a situation in which you have to deal with one thing at a time. There's no need to, get yourself bogged down in this situation in which your limbs are like all over the place, and they're just like hanging on to things, different things. So unload your burden one at a time. So deal with this situation first, and then if something, from the past that you're not happy with, just say, actually, what can we talk about this other thing that just, that has been on my mind. So one at a time, and don't mix up the problems, because I know with a lot of couples and a lot of relationships too, people put up with a lot of things until they just blow up, and then they like unload this barrage of problems onto their partner, and their partner had like no idea. So it's really important to hold back a little bit, address one thing at a time, okay? And I feel like, with the moon in the reverse position, you're both parties are going to be very level-headed about solving this problem. For those of you who are dealing with a fire sign too, the fire sign, man or woman, they're very they're actually calm about discussing this situation. So the end of the month would be the ideal time to do it, right? And I feel that in spite of everything, it has a good outcome. So try to work through the problem if you really love the other person. However, if they're a repeat offender, then you just walk out of that. But either way, use your discretion. And for those who are single too, it's important to get things out in the open. And I feel that the attitude to take here is to um, to basically take a step back and observe. Okay, so I'm sensing like that would be the wise thing to do when it comes to your dating and your love life. Okay, so take a step back, because people are actually more revealing in the things that they do and the things that they say when you actually take the time to observe them. So you're actually going to learn a lot. And wait for the people to show. There are a lot of talkers, okay, but wait for the people to really show their true colors and to show their true intentions by their actions more than anything, okay? So take a step back and observe. That would be the advice here. So I hope you enjoy the reading, and try to get through this problem with your partner or whoever you're dating, because I feel that it's going to be problematic. But hang in there. If they're worth it, I feel you should definitely hang in there for them. So please like, share, subscribe, and I will be back next week with the